Hey everybody, welcome to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to take a look at another great plugin from the company Audified. This is called the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro. So this is a really cool plugin following the same theme as the ToneSpot Bass Pro, which I've already did a review on. It's on the YouTube channel. You can go ahead and look in the archive. This is kind of an all-in-one plugin to go ahead and to make our acoustic guitar recordings sound better, which is great. There's not a lot of plugins out on the market that I've seen that is an all-in-one kind of inclusive plugin to work with acoustic guitar. Same thing with bass, and the bass one was really awesome, so I'm interested to take a listen to this one. So we're going to take a listen to this on a couple of acoustic guitars. I'm going to walk you through the plugin and show you all the great things you can do with the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro. But before we get to that, if you like what you see in this video, hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell, and also go out to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Get your 5 free mixing training courses worth about $110 in value. It's my gift to you just for visiting HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. And if you want to learn more about the craft of mixing in a very non-technical way, perfect for beginners and intermediates and even advanced level mixing engineers, where we talk about things like the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro, and I show you a whole host of plugins and how to apply them to your mix. Check out mixingmadeeasy.net. We have a 30-day free trial going on over there right now, mixingmadeeasy.net. Now let's just shut up and get into Studio One, because this is what you guys want to see. So here we are. Here is the Audified ToneSpot Acoustic Pro. So let's walk through the layout of the plugin. It looks like a lot of knobs, but it's actually really simple. Over here, top left-hand side, we have our channel left-right for both stereo. We have our input gain. We have our automatic gain control, which we can turn this on, and that will go ahead and automatically, based on the signal coming in, will make the adjustment here on the input side. Okay. Down on the left side here, and this is laid out just like the ToneSpot Bass Pro as well. They're all laid out exactly the same. So once you know one, you know them all, which is great. We have our character button here. We turn on our character. We have different types of acoustic sounds here. We have a modern, a vintage, and a natural, okay? Underneath that, we have some more shaping tools here. We have a bright switch. We have a scoop switch. We'll kind of scoop the mids, and we have a low-fi switch here as well. Next to that, we have our saturation, where we can turn that on and off by clicking this button here, and we have some gain and how much saturation we want to have. And then we also have a mix control on it, so you can do kind of a parallel kind of a thing where you can mix in the dry and the effective saturation signal, which is very useful. Over here in the center, or more towards the center, we have our shaping area, which is more of our EQ. We have our low cut here. We turn the shaping on and off here. You can see all the buttons light up. Okay, we have our low cut here. We have what's called our boom, our body, and our paper, which will kind of, our boom meaning, you know, the boominess or the low end of that acoustic guitar, the body, and then the paper more of the upper end here. And we have selective frequency 100, 150. Okay, you can see the two selected frequencies, predetermined frequencies, and what's great about that, it's kind of, those are kind of the ideal kind of frequencies for an acoustic guitar. So they take a lot of the guesswork out for you. If you're not sure what are more of the fundamental frequencies around an acoustic guitar, these are kind of already set here for you, and then you can dial it in here as well. Underneath this, we have the wood, the strings, the sparkle, and then we have a high cut. And once again, 2 frequencies on each. Everything you need to dial in a really great acoustic guitar sound. We have our compressor here, our punch area where we can have some compression going on, a fast and slow attack. We have our makeup gain to make up for the compensation of the volume loss we lose when we do some compression. And then once again, we have our mix knob, which is really helpful for like a parallel compression type of a deal. Then we have our surgery section here, which we have the high Qs here. We have, again, some selective frequencies here. We can go ahead and we could very easily do some nice notching or boosting here in the surgery area here if you want to get very precise. We have another compressor here called the smash, where if you want to really have 2 stages of compression, you can, over here on the punch and then on the smash. And then once again, you have a slow and fast attack, a makeup gain, and you have a mix knob. So you can do a little bit of just maybe mild compression on the original compressor here on the punch section. And then if you want to have a little bit of over compression to kind of get things thick and big, depending on the original source material, you could do that here as well. And then down here, we have our effects section. We have a tremolo here, a modulation section for chorus, flanger, phaser, a delay section, a reverb section. Okay, you can have ping pong delay if you want. You can adjust the decay time on here. You just turn on your effects like this. And we can adjust the depth, the intensity of the different modulations that we have here. And then once again, we have our mix knob, so we can dial in as much of that effect as we want. And then last but certainly not least, we have our Finalizar here, which has more of an enhancer to give us a little bit, you know, again, a little bit more finishing. That's why they call it the Finalizar, finishing sound of our acoustic guitar. We have a fat, a tight, and a smooth. We have our power switch up here, our output knob here, and then we could do automatic gain control on the output as well, so you don't have to worry about level matching the plugin. In the center here, one of the things I really love about the Audified plugins up top here underneath the Audified ToneSpot, we have this where we can resize the GUI, which I love. Look at that, right? So you can look at this loud and proud if you can't see it, or if you have a small screen, kind of like I do, 150%. I don't know why every plugin company doesn't do this, and I probably should have blown it up this size when we were looking at walking through the plugin, but here you go. And then what we also have, which I really like here, is they have a bunch of presets here. Now, one thing I'll say about the Audified presets, especially on the bass plugins that we looked at, they are so usable. If this is way too many knobs and you don't have time to dial all this in and tweak it all in and spend, you know, time making everything perfect manually, you could just come over here to their presets. They have in 3 categories: essential, advanced, and extreme. Okay. And you can just use the titles to kind of, you know, they're kind of self-explanatory, and we'll use some of these so we can check it out. And that's what we're going to do in this video here. So now that we've looked at this thing, now let's take a listen to it. So what I have here, let me close this for 1 second. We have a track here, drums, bass, 2 acoustic guitars, and all the electric guitars, keyboards, and the vocals and everything are all turned down. Just want to hear drums, bass, and 2 acoustic guitars kind of coming up the center here. The plugins on the acoustic guitars are now bypassed except for the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro. We had an SSL channel strip here that we were doing in another demo video, but we only have the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro enabled. So let me let you listen to what these 2 acoustic guitars sound like in context with the bass and the drums. And I've turned them up a little so you could hear them. They're a little bit exaggerated. Okay, they don't sound bad, but they sound kind of boomy. There's not a lot of sparkle. It's a little bit muddy sounding. So what we're going to do, and what we've done here, and I'll mute one of them here. I'll just mute the first one here. Now, what's great about using something like the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro is not only can you can put them on each individual track, and you can set them up completely different and have the 2 sounds where we can blend them together, which we'll try to do, and maybe pan one left and pan one right, something like that. You can also run your 2 acoustic guitars to a bus and put this on a bus and just process them singularly. So it really depends. And if you have different types of acoustic guitar source material, like if one was recorded off an amp and one was recorded as a DI, you know, you got everything you need here to kind of take whatever that recording is and enhance it. So let's start with that. So let's first blow up our GUI here a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, and let's just take some presets, you know, that's the easiest thing to do. So let's go down here. We have 1 acoustic guitar. As we said, it sounded a little bit boomy to me, sound a little bit muddy. So maybe what we're going to do is let's just take a look at some of these some of these presets. Here's the essentials category here, where we want it to get a little bit more high. We want it to maybe sparkle a little bit. So maybe we'll do like a boom cut to cut some of that boominess out. And when we do that, you can see it automatically shows what we need to do here. We're on the natural setting under the character type here. We have our we have our shaping here, and they've done some things here with the shaping. So let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to give us a little bit more gain. So let's bypass it. That's before. Okay, so right away it takes all that boominess out. Why? I picked the boom cut. So what did it do? In the shaping area here, it did a low cut at around 20 hertz. Let's see, at 100 hertz, it took out 9 dB at 100 hertz to get rid of that real low end. Let's see, in the body, and that was really it. And then it did a high cut. No, high cut's not even on. So all it really did was just take out 9 dB at 100 Hertz, cleaned it up really nice. Didn't really do any compression, but we can compress this as well. Now the compressor's set to fast. We can go ahead and we can put a little bit of compression on that. And let's just see what that does. Okay, now we'll use some makeup gain. As before. So it really evens out that performance. And if you feel like it's a little over compressed, whenever they're doing strumming, heavy strumming acoustic guitars, I like to use some compression, but we can also back off the mix a little bit and just so we mix in some of the dry signals so it doesn't sound like it's too compressed. Okay, so by dialing in about 35% of that compressed signal, it gives it a nice blend between compressed and uncompressed, kind of blended together. Really, really, really powerful. The smash we don't have turned on at all. We don't want to over compress that. Now let's just take this and let's go ahead and let's just enhance this a little bit more. So you get a preset, you get yourself kind of in the ballpark. I don't know, maybe we want a little bit of modulation. Let's try that. Let's try a little bit of chorusing on this single acoustic guitar. Before, after. So you get, this sounds really nice, very musical. So we can, you know, dial it in. Maybe it's a little much, maybe around 20%. We have it in sync at quarter notes here, and we've turned the mix up to about 10%, and you can play with it. You know, we have chorus, flanger, and phaser. Let's just cycle through the three while we're here. Chorus sounds a little better to me. Let's add a little bit of reverb. We got a nice plate reverb here. Nice plate. Turn up the decay a little if we like. It's before. After. Really cool, really musical. Let's turn down that chorus a little bit more, and let's put now a little bit of Finalizar. Let's just see what that enhancement does here. Let's bypass the plugin. That's before. After. Before. After. Okay, sounds much, much better. And I know it's a little loud because I want you to hear it. It's too loud for the mix right now. But now let's do the same concept. Let's lower this a little. We'll actually mute it. Let's do the same thing to the second guitar. And maybe let's pick a different preset and tweak it a little differently and then blend them together. And then we'll pan them maybe hard left and right. So let's open up our There we go. Oops. There we go. Say, what's taking so long? Okay, that's my computer. All right. So we have the ToneSpot the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro here. So let's pick another preset. Let's just go over to Essentials. Now the last one we did was a body or a boom cut. Let's do something like maybe a sparkle boost. Let's just see what that does. Okay, and you can see our presets will change a little. That's before, after. One thing I'll say about this that I really love is whenever you get into some of these plugins where, and this is not an example of that, where you boost the top end to bring some of that sparkle, some of that sheen into things like acoustic guitar, it can get very irritating to the ear, very ice picky, very harsh. This is very smooth, sounds great. So what did it do here? We're going to put on our character button now this time. We're going to tweak this a little bit. We're going to go on the modern setting. Okay, what did it do here? It added a little bit of sparkle at 10K, about 9 dB at 10K. Okay, that's what it did here. It also did a low cut at 20 Hertz still. We could even roll up our low cut a little bit, around 90 Hertz. It doesn't have any compression, so let's compress it a little bit again. Again, we'll do a fast attack here. We'll do a little bit of compression. We'll turn on our punch here. Okay, a little bit of compression. Let's put just some reverb on this, and we'll use the same reverb as we did before. No other modulation on this track. And we'll put our finalizer on again on the smooth setting. It's before. So we went from this to this. Turn down the output a little, level match the plugin. Now let's bring both tracks in. Let's blend them together and let's pan one left, one right. Let's take all the muting off. And let's just see if we can blend these together. What does it sound like? Okay, and this is one way that you can do this. Okay, pan them hard left, 50% on each side. Now I'm gonna bypass both plugins now. So here's both plugins off. What a difference. So by now bringing in the electric guitars, you can hear how it kind of sits in context with now electric guitars on the sides of it or beside it. So this way now that sparkle that may have sounded a little thin in and on its own, but it really helps cut through the mix. Once again, I will go ahead and I'll bring in our keyboards here too. I think we got some keys happening here as well to bring in the rest of the mix a little bit. Again, just doing a quick little throw up the faders. It's not perfectly balanced, but I want you to hear this in context with the other instruments. And what I'll do is I'll just turn this ToneSpot Acoustic Pro on and off so you can hear how it helps sit it in the mix better. It's before. Nice. Before. Without that plugin, you don't even hear it in the mix without having to turn up the faders, without having to boost the volume. Bringing in the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro helps it cut right through the mix, blends really, really nice. And again, we just did a quick static mix here. So again, I think this plugin is a wonderful plugin for one of these all-in-one deals. Audified now is, I think, hit a home run on both the ToneSpot Bass Pro and now the ToneSpot Acoustic Pro. They're laid out exactly the same way. Everything is done right underneath the hood. Again, I've only shown you a couple of presets, but a lot of these presets are very, very usable. It's a very musical plugin, just like the bass plugin, and they're laid out, as I said, exactly the same. So once you know one, you know them all. So I would head on over to Audified's website. The links will be in the description. Go check out the plugin. I think it's great. If you're looking for an all-in-one plugin to help you with your acoustic guitars, this is a great plugin to have. I don't know too many companies that make a plugin like this. I've used one or two in the past, and they didn't sound very good. They sound very artificial. This sounds very, very musical, and I think Audified's done a great job with this, and I really do appreciate them letting me check this out. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, go in the description box below, go down to Audified's website, get this in your system, play with it. I think you're really, really going to like it. And use the link in the description box because I believe you'll get some kind of a discount off the plugin as well. So check out the link in the description box. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And once again, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and mixingmadeeasy.net and check out all the training I have for you there. Get your 5 free mixing training courses. And until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.